Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and as you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be doing some Asian style pickled jalapeno peppers. If that's not a mouthful, I don't know what is. This particular recipe that I'm going to be showing you guys is going to be soy sauce based pickle jalapeno peppers. If that's such a mouthful, that's still such a mouthful to say. And the recipe that I've created is very similar to a lot of Korean recipes. For like pickled soy sauce based pickled peppers. So yeah, I thought this tasted so amazing with it though, and I would like to think that I did something pretty awesome. Anyway, so before I start talking about everything else, how to make this, how to do it, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that I used the amount of jalapeno peppers that I had was about, it was a little under 1,000 grams or a kilo, because 1,000 grams equals to 1 kilogram. Yeah, so it was a little bit under. So the amount of liquid that I'm going to tell you guys to do is perfect for 1,000 grams of jalapeno peppers, like whole without cutting it. So it's probably a lot less when you actually cut it, because you're not going to put the stem in it, obviously. But yeah, so that's just it. I just want to mention that, and let's start into the pickling liquid. So for the pickling liquid, what you're going to need is half a cup of sugar. The sugar that I did use was a demerara sugar. It is a type of brown sugar that's not sticky. It's thicker, bigger chunks of sugar. You can use whatever sugar you want, but just know it might taste a little bit different from like different sugars, obviously. And then the next thing that I'm going to put into this is a cup of soy sauce. The soy sauce I used was a low sodium soy sauce. You can use whatever soy sauce you want. Just keep in mind, if you use the dark soy sauce that I used for my adobo recipe, it's going to be really salty. It's going to be really strong. So just keep that in mind. If you're using dark soy sauce, use less soy sauce, obviously. But that's the general rule. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to grab a cup and a half of white vinegar. The vinegar that I used was the same vinegar that I used for my adobo recipe. It is the Filipino style white vinegar. And those are made from coconut. The original recipe that I watched, they used just plain distilled vinegar, plain white distilled vinegar. That's going to give you a different flavor profile, but it's very minute that I don't think it'll make that much of a difference with everything that we're adding into this. So yeah, so there's that. And then the next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need 2 cups of water. Basically what you're going to do is grab all those ingredients and put them into a saucepan, and you're going to boil that. So yeah, you're going to boil it. And then while you're doing that, so first thing you're going to do is actually cut the peppers. And the peppers, as you meant, the way I cut it were about an inch thick, roughly. You don't have to cut it if you don't want to. If you don't want to cut it, just make sure to remember to poke holes into the into the peppers, just so the actual pickling liquid will go in, like seep inside as well. But yes, basically just cut it into strips. And then the other things that you're going to do is you're going to grab some onion. When I was filming this, I used a regular yellow onion, like a small regular yellow onion. And I cut that into just big chunks. But if you can find a sweet onion, and if it's big, just use like half of that sweet onion, it will definitely be a lot better than the regular onion that I did. It still tastes good with the yellow onion, but you know, it'll be better with sweet onion. And then finally, you're just gonna crush some garlic, and the garlic, you're just gonna grab your knife and just, you know, crush it. And this is basically what you're just gonna, this is it. Okay, now that you have all that prepared, what we're going to do is we're going to put everything into a jar. Just please remember, when you're doing this kinds of things, wash your jars. You can also, what I did was I poured boiling hot water all over the inside of the jars and into the lids. You don't, just make sure everything is clean, okay? Just make sure everything is clean. So now that you have your clean jars and you have all your peppers prepped, just kind of stuff it. Just stuff it as much as you can into the jar. Even if you like finagle it a little bit to make it fit, just make sure it's tightly packed in there, because that's going to help you in the long run. And they're going to shrink a little bit as they pickle. They're just going to release some water. It's just going to shrink. It's just going to shrink, okay? Now that you have your jar stuffed with everything, and your pickling liquid is boiling, what you're going to do is you're going to pour the hot pickling liquid into the jars with the jalapenos in, obviously. And what I did was I grabbed a stick, like a coffee stir, and I realized that didn't work, so I grabbed a knife, like a butter knife. Basically just use the knife or whatever you have to wiggle the peppers around just to make sure that there aren't any air bubbles in it, because the air bubbles are not good. And when you're pouring this, just pour it as evenly as you can throughout all the jars that you have, and as well as just kind of like press into the pepper just so you know it's going to be submerged. There's going to be enough liquid in there that your peppers are going to be submerged in. So yeah, so when you have all of that done, the next thing that you're going to do is, if you have pie weights or like pickle weights or whatever, you can definitely use that. What I used was, I just had what's it called, plastic wrap. I know it's not the most environmentally safe. This actually did work really well for me. I grabbed a huge chunk of plastic wrap and I smooshed it up all together and put it on top of the pickles, and I just made sure, like, you know, I had enough so it will actually, when the lid is closed, it will actually submerge the pickles into the liquid. So yeah, I just did that, and honestly that worked really well for me. But it will definitely be a lot better if you have some pickle weights, because that's a lot better, you know, a lot environmentally safe. But that's what I had, so that's what I used. And now you're just going to leave this in room temperature for about 24 hours. I think I did mine for about it was probably a lot more, like 30 hours, but it still turned out well. It's still fine. Yeah, so the next step, once you've waited your 24 hours, or a little bit more or a little bit less is okay. The next step that I did was, I opened up all those jars again. I grabbed the saucepan. I dumped all the liquid out of the saucepan, out of the jars and into the saucepan. Please be careful with this, just so you don't get liquid everywhere. You're just going to do the same thing you did as the first part, you know, boil the liquid and then pour it back into the jars as evenly as you can. Grab your weights and cover it up. And then after this step, you're just going to put the jar straight into the fridge. This will be delicious a week after. You can eat it as soon as it was done, like the original one, but it will definitely be a lot better if you wait a little bit. All the flavors meld together and it'll just taste a lot better as time goes on. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You know, after a week, it's good. It tastes good. You can eat it. I mean, you can eat it when you first make it, but it's definitely a lot better if you wait, because the flavors will meld. It will just mellow it out a little bit and everything kind of like tastes good as it is. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is what it looks like, what I have. It's a little, what's this called? There's some condensation on it, just because it was in the fridge for so long, and this is another batch that I have, and it's so good. I'm really happy with how this turned out. If you guys are wondering how long this will last, this will last a long time. Christia, what does a long time mean? I made a batch of these back in July. Yeah, I wouldn't say I made a batch of these back in July. I'm still eating it because I'm pretty much the only one in this household right now that will eat spicy food. I'm gonna try and find some people who would want this, who would eat this, who would want this. So, yeah. Oh, and what you can eat this with? Basically, you can eat this with anything that's fatty. I guess with a lot of pickles, really like a lot of different pickles, you eat it with like something to cut the fat with. You know, like when you eat pickled cucumbers or pickles, whatever. When you eat pickled cucumbers, you eat that with like a sandwich or stuff like that, just to cut the fat out. Same thing with this. If you have some pork belly that you're just gonna grill up a little bit or like fry off a little bit, this would be good with that. If you have a burger, you can put this on a burger, and that'll be awesome as well, like an Asian style burger. Yeah. That's pretty much it for this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and if you reached this part of the video, might as well subscribe because you reached the end. Who watches the end credits anyway? So yeah, anyway, that is it. I hope you try this out. If you try it out, let me know what you think of it. If it tastes good or not, whatever. Oh, also let me know what you're gonna eat this with, because that would be awesome to know, like other ideas how to eat this. So yeah, anyway, until next time, bye guys.